Good morning. Today I want to share Esther 4, verse 16, which says, "Go assemble all the Jews who are found in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maidens also will fast in the same way. And thus I will go in to the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish." This is definitely not a verse I would normally share, but I could not get it out of my head after I read it, and I know that that means that's the verse that God wants me to focus on. Esther was the queen, but even the queen back then was not permitted to go in and see the king if she was not invited or summoned to go in and see him. Anyone who went in to see the king had to have been invited or they would die, unless he extended his scepter to them, which meant, okay, it's okay to come in and you won't die. And her people, she was a Jew. The king did not know that. But there was a plot against the Jews, and she knew she needed to tell the king about this plot. She would be revealing to him that she was Jewish, but she knew if I go into him and he didn't invite me, I could die. But she was willing to do that because she knew that this was not fair. The Jews didn't deserve to die because this person was plotting against them. And what I really noticed was the fact that she asked other people, and she was going to be doing it herself, to fast for 3 days. And I just felt God speaking to me, saying about praying and asking others to pray. When you see an injustice, when you see something that isn't fair, or even when you need to talk to somebody and you're worried, you think that they're not going to take it well. I mean, most of us are not going to face death when we speak up, but sometimes we do run the risk of having unpleasant circumstances that we have to face when we speak up. You could get fired, you could get people angry at you, you could lose friends. So I just was seeing this, fast, and I'll do the same. And I felt God saying, when you take time to pray, take a couple of days before you need to speak to this person. And I get there are times where it's important to speak up right away. But most of the time we can take that day or two, pray yourself, but ask others that you trust to pray for you as well and for the situation. Because when we take that time to pray, God, one, can help you know what to say, how to say it, and even what not to say. Because I know for me sometimes, if I speak right away, I let things come out that I shouldn't have said, or I should have said it in a better way. And so if I need to speak up, then I want to make sure that I am doing it in the best possible way. So I'm sure you're the same way, and I just wanted to encourage you. Take that time to pray. Ask others to pray as well for you, so that God can help you to know, this is what I need to say, this is how I'm going to say it. But it also prepares the other person. God can soften that person's heart and make them more susceptible to hearing what it is that you need to say. And maybe that conversation would not go as poorly as you think it would when you take that time to pray. Because God will soften that person's heart, and they will realize where you're coming from, where your heart is. Maybe be made aware of, you know what, you're right, I was not fair in this situation, you know. And you never know the difference you can make when you decide, one, you need to speak up. You need to make every effort to right a wrong or to fix an injustice that you might have seen. And you can make a difference in that other person's life as well. Whether it's the person who had the wrong done to them or the person who did the wrong. Just because you took that time to pray and ask God to help you, and you had other people praying for you as well. Because our God is able to do amazing things when his people pray. God bless.